Yeah, we're live. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. This is and we have cookies. So now we can start. This is the Joint Committee on Judicial Retention. We're meeting in room 10 on February 15th, 2024, to consider 3 retentions. I guess what I wanted to make notion that when we have on our agenda, committee discussion of the judges, and that is traditionally done executive session. So I will at some point kick everybody out of the room, but not quite yet. We have been joined by a former colleague, by Senator Joe Benning. Welcome, Senator Benning. And I'd like to show you as a display of the committee's respect, if you would like to mix before we kick you out. Yes. I think I'm going to swear you in. We're swearing in the witnesses, so I'll count you as the witness. Do you swear that
Hang on a minute. Swear to chair. Must be a house.
Boy, Joe can't take it anymore. Do you swear or attest that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Welcome, Senator Benning.
Thank you. If you're ready for me,
Yes.
members of the committee, my name is Joe Benning. For those of you that don't know me, I was a senator here for 12 years. I was also a member of this committee for about 10 years. And I have, back in November, had a stroke. And we're still adjusting the medications, which is why my voice keeps cutting out. As a lawyer, that's kind of a pain in the butt to have to deal with. But bottom line is, if you can't hear me, feel free to just say whatever you need to say. I'm going to thank Senator Hardy because I was sitting at my computer table last week in my den, having sworn never to come back to this building after I lost the last election. And suddenly I'm reading a headline that I saw was absolutely crazy. And let me pause to say, there is nothing about Senator Hardy's dealing with the issue I'm about to talk about. It was the headline in the paper that had me really concerned for Judge Lisa Warren, who I understand is on the screen. She does not know that I'm here. Of course, she does now. But I want to talk a little bit about Judge Warren and give you at least my perspective on her before you enter into any kind of deliberations. I'll back up to say, if you did not have the opportunity to see the headline in the Caledonian Record, which is also Judge Warren's local hometown newspaper, it gave the impression that one particular senator was hanging up her retention. Now, I've been on a committee long enough to know there's a lot of other stories that go on behind the scenes and about what actually happened. And I do fully understand and appreciate Senator Hardy just did not have an opportunity yet to review the entire file and asked the chair to have time in order to do that. And the chair, of course, gracefully answered that call and allowed her to have that time. But the way that it was delivered in poor Judge Warren's hometown newspaper made it look something different. And so for that reason, I decided I was going to break my promise to never come back here again and to make an appearance. And it also gave me an excuse to come back and say hello to people I hadn't seen in a while. I first knew Lisa Warren when I was a young attorney and she was slinging pizzas.
Oh, I didn't say that, Joe. You wouldn't, everybody that.
I knew you wouldn't, which is why I am. But Representative Troiano and I go back long ways as well.
When Lisa was slinging pizzas.
When Lisa was slinging pizzas for the family restaurant. I and Chip have had an opportunity to watch her rise through the ranks. And that's a phenomenal thing to watch. Not only did she have a mission while still in high school as to what she wanted out of life, but she made that come to fruition. And although I am not currently practicing in her courthouse, that's actually probably a good thing because she doesn't owe me anything. And I don't feel like I owe her anything other than to say, there's a reason for me to be here. You folks need to know that she is one of your stellar performers. I hope, I heard somebody commenting from the screen. I hope that's not her gagging. But I wanted to be real clear that with all the history I've had in this building, serving on both the Judiciary Committee as well as this retention committee, and seeing many judges come and go before me, it was a pleasure to see her not only rising through the ranks, but have such competence at the position when she got there. And I am familiar enough with every place she practices right now to say confidently that I know all of the defense bar and most of the prosecutors who work in the buildings where she has been working. And to a person, they are all unanimous in their opinion about her being a very competent, very capable, and very likable judge. My voice is giving out. I'm happy to answer questions if you have them, but I know you also have a lot of work to do, and no, Ruth, I can't take any of that.
Oh, you don't want Terry's cookie?
I was talking with Terry earlier that if I had to die, in fact, this is a joke I now have with my wife, if she goes first and I don't feel like sticking around anymore, I'm just gonna grab a whole bunch of Terry cookies and gorge myself.
Ouch.
So that's pretty much my spiel. I appreciate being given the opportunity to come in and say hi and give that. Any question, comments?
Senator, you know that the title senator is what you are entitled to keep for life. But when I was a retired senator, no one seemed to know that but me. So it looked like I was crazy. So I stopped, but anyway, Senator Benning, welcome, and thank you for your testimony. Yes,
Appreciate that.
Senator Hardy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, Senator, so great to see you. I'm glad that my comment and the headline that ensued got you to come back to the State House, because it's really nice to see you. And I'm glad you're doing better. And I just wanted to explain the situation for those of you who either weren't in the room or have forgotten last time, after we were mostly done with our deliberations. I had recalled that there are some confidential files that we all have to look at sort of in private, and I hadn't yet done so. And I wanted to have time to look at them before we made any final decisions. And I believe that most other people hadn't, also had not looked at them. And in fact, Representative Oliver were like, hey, can you do it? Can you look at them for me too? I jokingly, but so that was my comment, was that I didn't want to make any final decisions until I'd had a chance to review those files. And that was true for all of the judges, all three of the judges. It was not just for Judge Warren, it was for all three of them. And so that's why I said I didn't want to make a final decision. And the Caledonia Record took it out of context or didn't understand it. And I tried to read the article, but it was behind a paywall. And so I couldn't even read the article. And so apologies if it made you nervous, Judge Warren. But here we are. So yeah, that's it. And we can talk about it in executive session, but that was the situation.
I did not want to put you on the defensive at all. In fact, I went right to the source where I knew I would get everything I needed to know. Thank you, Eric. The bottom line is that we all know, or I used to know as a politician, whenever you are quoted, you are either misquoted, misunderstood, mistaken, or just flat out lied about. But I had the opportunity to get to the bottom of all that, which made all perfect sense to me, and you were only acting in the proper scope of trying to be as diligent on this committee as possible. But it also gave me a great opportunity to violate my own promise to myself and say hi.
Well, it was good to hear from you when you called. I'll just call you Joe now. That was good.
Have a good time. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Joe.
Take care of yourself.
Yep.
Eric, I joked about kicking everybody out. Is that what I do when for executive session, or do we go off someplace?
I know you ordinarily stay here and everyone else.
Do I have a motion to go into executive
So
session?
moved. Yes, Mr. Chair, I move for executive sessions in order in order for the consideration of matters relating to the appointment or employment or evaluations of of a justice or judges.
We have a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
I
Chair votes in favor. Okay, so beat it.